Hi, everybody, and welcome. It is the T2 Challenge Season 2. I am Mark Thompson, along with the High Performance Director of USA Table Tennis, Sharon O'Neill. We're at the Westchester Table Tennis Center in beautiful Pleasantville, New York, for the 6th of what are 16 regional matchups. And we got a good one tonight, Sharon. Sharon ALGUETTI taking on LIU Juan.
I love the chance for a rematch, and Sharon ALGUETTI played so solid in Season 1 against LIU Juan, who will be representing the United States going into Tokyo.
Yeah, and she's representing Team Omega in this one as well, and they are down right now, Sean. 5 points to 1, so a big match tonight for LIU Juan and Team Omega. Of course, the last time these two players matched up against one another was at the T2 Challenge in Season 1, and in that match, it was Sharon ALGUETTI, who is the 2019 U.S. Junior National Champion, of course, and has won some big matches. He dominated that night against LIU Juan.
And you see here as they're warming up another righty-lefty combination, both shake hands and pen holder, and Sharon is using Yola equipment, and I see LIU Juan with her top achievement. She will be representing the U.S. in Tokyo.
Yeah, Sharon ALGUETTI, just 19 years of age. On the flip side, LIU Juan, 36 years of age, out of College Point, New York. As Sean noted, she's a lefty, an offensive attacker, plays from the pen hold style, and looking forward to seeing what she does in Tokyo in 2021 here.
It's going to make a very solid team. We've seen Huijin Wang play in Season 2 and also in Season 1, and hopefully we'll get a chance with Lily Zhang to join us for the T2 finals.
It's an interesting decision for LIU Juan to play with the mask on. We've seen some players doing that throughout North America. It's not a terrible idea, in my opinion, but I would imagine from just a play perspective, Sean, it's something you'd probably have to get used to.
Yeah, I know in New York, depending on which club you're at, there's varying rules, but for this, they have gotten approval to play without the mask, but I think LIU Juan doesn't change what she's used to. So it's a little bit of habit and staying within her comfort zone.
It's an early 1-1 set up here in Game 1 of the best of 7. We'll keep an eye on the 24-minute clock. Of course, any game that started after the conclusion of the 24-minute clock under T2 rules is a fast 5, which has implications in the team setup as well.
And Mark, one thing we saw in their first meeting in Season 1 was Sharon really doing a nice job of moving the serve return around and stopping LIU Juan from getting her big forehand in. Not really playing a lot of offense, but just really playing more placement and trying to get the rally to continue on and get her out of position.
I'd have to go back and look at it, but I don't remember LIU Juan having a lead in any of those games that they played back in Season 1. She's got a lead right now at 3-1. Oh, Sharon recovered nicely that time. Got a bit of a break off the top of the net, and the effort back by LIU Juan goes long, so now at 3-2, LIU Juan's still leading.
And that's what Sharon wants to do, get that quick backhand off the bounce and move it around, stay away from her forehand if possible.
Now back with the lead is Sharon ALGUETTI at the University of Indiana is where he goes to school right now, just 19 years of age. Nice exchange that time.
You can see the quickness with LIU Juan, even though she's using the pen holder, her backhand, because she plays on the other side, is very quick cross court.
And of course, as is his wont, Sharon ALGUETTI in the emotion of the game, which is one of the fun things about watching it. And the let serve at 5-4, Sharon ALGUETTI. Oh, great. Just hanging tough that time by Sharon. Some beautiful shots by LIU Juan off the backhand and the forehand.
That's a nice backhand opening by LIU Juan. Even though she's a pen holder, expect her to get her backhand into the point very quickly.
It's off the net and out. And with the 7-5 lead here in game one, Sharon ALGUETTI.
That's just a super fight there by Sharon, getting the net ball back and then getting so low to get that first forehand in.
And now, leading in the game 9-5 here. The serve shifts back to LIU Juan, down by 4, game one. Great serve that time by LIU Juan. Draw
Looks
back
like that,
within 3.
Yeah, that might have been a net serve there.
Well, now she's within 3. Good aggressive forehand by LIU Juan that time. Now down 9-7. The serve shifting back to Sharon ALGUETTI. You're in game one, T2 Challenge Season 2.
And LIU Juan just keeps coming more and more. Nice deep push off the serve. Looks like Sharon's going to go for, he changes his mind. He was going to go for a backhand serve. He's going to stick with his forehand.
Drawing it even now is LIU Juan here in game one at 9-9. She's battled back from down 4 points at 9-5, 4 consecutive, and with the serve. And now with game point herself is LIU Juan.
Just rock solid down the line, backhand to backhand exchanges.
And game one does go to LIU Juan at 11-9. A come-from-behind performance. She was down by 4, Sean, and racked up 6 consecutive points to win 11-9 in game one against Sharon ALGUETTI.
And just really stayed with her game, making sure she could get her both forehand and backhand attacks going. She didn't let up at all. Here's the game point again. Nice deep serve, got the forehand into play. Sharon does a good job of getting a quick backhand off the bounce, but credit LIU Juan for taking game one in convincing fashion.
Yeah, she turned the table from season 1 of the T2 Challenge, where Sharon was just dominant in that match. But you gotta like the resiliency of LIU Juan. That's one of the things I thought we saw, Sean, in the Olympic trials in Santa Monica back in 2020 when she played there. Her back gets up against the wall. She seems like she's one of those players who plays better when she's challenged like that.
And I mean, she just puts it into overdrive and just really goes for it, adds a little bit more speed, a little bit more spin. Game two.
Taking the first point of game two. LIU Juan up 1-0 up 1 point to none here in game two.
You know, Mark, I've really liked Sharon's intensity, even though he lost game one in that kind of comeback fashion. He really stays positive.
He goes for the backhand serve here, the slice. And again. And takes his first lead of game two at 2-1. Seems happy with that.
Oh, what a great step around down the line off LIU Juan's very spinny opening loop.
Great return that time by Sharon ALGUETTI to open up a 3-point lead now. Kind of an unforced error, it seemed that time on LIU Juan as she hit that loop long. Now down by 4. Oh, Sharon ALGUETTI has the momentum now. That's a beautiful backhand, kind of across the table. Deep on the left side.
So that's 7 points in a row now after going down 1-0 and 1-0 here in game 2. Sharon is really on a roll. As I say it, and he whiffs that ball. Sorry
Threw
about
the jinx
that.
up there. That's all right. Couple in a row here for LIU Juan in game 2, up 1-0, but Sharon ALGUETTI had the momentum and trying to gain it back is the Olympian LIU Juan. Break one against her that time, and now an 8-3 lead for Sharon ALGUETTI. Sharon, who is one of the captains for Team Alpha, as his twin brother, Adar, is on the other side of that equation. We'll get to see him here in Westchester at some point.
Oh, and there's an unforced big point on the serve by LIU Juan.
Oh, great shot that time by LIU Juan, though, answering back after a difficult point to draw within 4 again. Now at 9-5, Sharon ALGUETTI goes to that backhand serve again.
Excellent backhand opening, just super spinny and well placed out wide to the forehand of LIU Juan.
Game point for Sharon ALGUETTI. Doesn't get the first one. Nor the second.
Sharon taking an extra moment to get ready for this.
LIU Juan again, late in the game. Sean, we talk about this, but when it reminds me a lot of Kanak Ja. That when his back is to the wall, he plays his best, and LIU Juan has that trait as well.
And Sharon going back to the backhand serve.
Oh, there he goes. A step around forehand by Sharon ALGUETTI. Very happy about that. You can see the body emotion as he wins 11-8 here in game 2 to tie things up at 1 game apiece. Beautiful shot that time, Sean, by Sharon ALGUETTI.
Great backhand serve from the forehand side. And then a step around where we see him not taking the ball down the line, but going inside out to the wide forehand of a lefty. It's always a weak spot for lefties, but Sharon really goes inside out.
Love the way he leaned on that one.
Perfectly played.
That's just textbook right there.
Our umpire, Wilson Chio, would have had to be a little bit nervous having all that energy and momentum coming right at him. But Sharon, excellent job to stop that additional comeback that we've seen LIU Juan pulling off today.
Yeah, the body mechanics that time of Sharon ALGUETTI was just pure athleticism. As we go to game 3, tied at 1 game apiece. Taking the early 2-0 lead is LIU Juan at College Point, New York, just 36 years of age. It was a good backhand that time down the line by Sharon. Unable to handle it was LIU Juan, and Sharon's on the board.
And you can hear it in his voice after each point. He knows these points are critical right here.
Bad break that time for LIU Juan after a nice exchange between the two players, but it's off the net and out. Now Sharon with his first lead of game 3 at 3-2.
And he's sticking with that backhand serve, Mark. That allows him, when LIU Juan pushes the ball down the line to what seems to be the open court, he can start his backhand attack and really move it around nicely.
Good shot that time by LIU Juan to the backhand side. Sharon ALGUETTI unable to handle it and drawing it even at 4 apiece.
A great point by both players, really playing on the white lines. Sharon able to keep the offense even though he was off the table.
Great backhand that time by LIU Juan. Deep to the right side of Sharon ALGUETTI off the edge of his paddle, and it's a 5-5 game here in game 3. 1-1 in games.
Again, Sharon's just doing a nice job of getting that first offensive play. That time stepping around his forehand to get his backhand in, gives him a little bit more angular options.
Couple of nice short balls that time by LIU Juan. Sets up that point and draws it back even at 6 apiece. Sharon ALGUETTI with a nice serve. Unable to handle it was LIU Juan. Sharon back up by a point.
Sharon needs to stay up a little bit closer after he plays that first backhand. If he fades too far back, that'll give LIU Juan a lot more time to get her forehand in.
Nice dig off the side of the table that time by LIU Juan to get it back on and take the first lead that she's had since way back when at 2-0. But she leads 8-7 here in game 3.
Oh, lucky break there. Deep, aggressive serve, and Sharon able to put it on the table, but it just catches the back edge, and he sticks with his backhand serve.
Oh, great play after a nice return that time by LIU Juan, but Sharon with the answer.
Great forehand inside out, that time down the line.
Into the net it goes, and now with game point here in game 3 is Sharon ALGUETTI, who won the men's doubles championship in the U.S. Nationals in 2017 with his brother Gal.
Great placement there by LIU Juan, knowing that Sharon wants to open up with the backhand. She keeps serving it wider and wider out to the forehand side. Sharon taking his time.
But that one goes long, and game 3 goes to Sharon ALGUETTI. And you can tell by the body language, LIU Juan not happy about her effort on that final point. But it's Sharon ALGUETTI taking game 3, 11-9.
And LIU Juan had the ball on her paddle. She had a chance to play that strong forehand. Unable to bring it down right off the end. Lifted it, needed to drive it a little bit more.
You could tell by her body language too, Sean. She was not happy about that because she really was in good position to get that ball on the table. One of the underestimated elements, I think, of LIU Juan's game is her power. So she's not necessarily a big player, but she does get a lot of force on the ball, particularly on that forehand loop. And that time, I think she just missed it.
Yeah, I think she was not expecting. She thought there was a little bit more spin on the ball, so when she lifted it, it just kept going off the end.
Here we are in game 4 with Sharon ALGUETTI leading 2-1 and now leading 1-0 in this game.
Again, LIU Juan does such an exceptional job, whether she's dropping the ball short, it stays really short, or she's pushing long, it's very deep, not a lot of in-between shots.
Great return that time after what was a deep ball from LIU Juan. Sharon ALGUETTI, great response, and unable to come back with the counter was LIU Juan. step around forehand down the line by Sharon ALGUETTI. When he gets in that position, Sean, very difficult to handle.
I mean, that shot out to LIU Juan's forehand has really paid dividends so far this match.
I think LIU Juan did a good job on the serve that time, kind of mixing it up on. I'm not sure Sharon was expecting that serve.
Oh, once again, big forehand by Sharon. That time he took it straight down the line instead of fading it out to LIU Juan's forehand. It's definitely having a lot more confidence in finishing the ball.
It goes back to the backhand serve here for Sharon ALGUETTI. And unable to handle. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a nice little side top serve, little sides with topspin, and he leaves the backhand court open, really challenging LIU Juan to go for the winner.
Unable to handle that forehand with power was LIU Juan, and now down by 3 here in Game 4. That's unfortunate right there. In a game against a player like Sharon ALGUETTI, you don't want to do that.
Again, a great, I mean, Mark, super footwork by Sharon. He got into such good position. He really could play anywhere that he wanted. He just waited to see where LIU Juan was and took it to the open court.
You're right, Sean. When you see his body open up like that, you can see his eyes too. He's examining the table to see where the right place to go is, and it's tough to answer that.
And then he's taking those deep pushes off the bounce, at least getting the ball into play on his terms with a quick backhand opening.
Game point. And he takes it on the first effort right there. And if you look at the T2 clock, that's an important quick win by Sharon ALGUETTI, who I think is sensing, Sean. We talked about the importance of winning without going to a fast 5. You double your points for your team. And now with the 11-4 victory here in Game 4, Sharon ALGUETTI is up 3-1.
He's just doing a great job of moving the ball around. This time you see LIU Juan going for her own inside-out forehand, but not really getting in the best position. She just goes long out to Sharon's forehand.
This is a good point there, Sean, because if you looked at the footwork that time on LIU Juan, it looked like her right foot never really came around and put her body in the position to make that shot. And she missed it and is now down 3-1 here in a best-of-7 against Sharon ALGUETTI.
So they will be obviously playing to 11 since we're not in the fast 5, but this could have huge ramifications from the team score because Sharon right now could close this out without going to a fast 5 and get the extra bonus point.
We've seen that already in one match. That was the match with Chance Friend and Seth Peck.
Oh, what a great backhand reloop off the bounce by LIU Juan. Just tons of wrist action.
That was a beautiful backhand by Sharon ALGUETTI. Back in the lead at 3-2 here in Game 5, up 3-1. He's going back to the backhand serve.
Oh, so smart. He went for the aggressive deep serve. LIU Juan able to pick it up off the bounce, and then just a wonderful counterattack by Sharon.
Oh! Oh, the trick shot artist, Sharon ALGUETTI, playing from deep off the table. Gets 4 or 5 of those smashes back on the table and wins the point.
Oh, a lucky break off the edge of the racket there, but the right shot, Sharon going for a backhand reloop. Yeah, as you said, Mark, Sharon is a master of escape, and those lobs were amazing.
I have a feeling he and his brothers down in the basement just do nothing but lob the ball back and forth to each other.
Sharon needs to be careful here. He's been running on a little bit of adrenaline to get this early lead here in such a huge game.
Yeah, obviously, if we were to get to a game 6, it would be a fast 5. But Sean has already noted if it is Sharon ALGUETTI who were to win here and win the match, win this game, win the match, that would be not only the 1 point for winning the match, it's the bonus point as well, which is obviously critical, Sean, because we talked about it much, but it really is the team that is important here in T2 Challenge Season 2, because it is the team that wins. Those players, those 16 players, are going to advance to the finals, where they'll take on a much more individualistic tone at that point.
And Sharon here with the timeout, very smart, saw the momentum where LIU Juan started to creep back, just like we saw her do in game 1, and then also in a later game. But Sharon, he needs to not only play good position, he needs to get that forehand in. That's been just perfect for him throughout this match.
Oh, good forehand that time by LIU Juan to draw things at even at 6 here in game 5.
LIU Juan makes sure she doesn't get into another one of those extended lobbing rallies by putting a little bit more on the ball on the second attack.
And her first lead of game 5 at 7-6, but down 3 games to 1.
Oh, just great play by both players, Mark. Of all the matches we've seen, I really feel like these two players are playing closest to their best after such a long break in action.
Now opening up a 3-point lead here in game 5 is LIU Juan. This is a very important game for her and her teammates on Team Omega.
Oh, what a backhand crack by Sharon ALGUETTI. I mean, that reminded me of some of Jimmy Butler's shots that we saw down in Houston. He just took that downtown.
Well, he does it again that time. A little bit different type of shot, but the same result.
Oh, my gosh.
It won.
I guess you would call this going for broke at the end.
And he draws it at even at 9 apiece here in game 5, up 3 games to 1. And you can sense that the tension is shifted here, Sean, towards LIU Juan. You just look at her body language. She knows how important this is.
She's got hands on hips, and Sharon's taking a lap. So these 2 points.
Oh, that's an unfortunate break off the top of the net and out, and match point shifts over to Sharon ALGUETTI. Serve is with LIU Juan, however. And that does it. Sharon ALGUETTI in come from behind fashion in game 5 wins 11-9 and wins the match in a 4 games to 1 score. It went 9-11, 11-8, 11-9, 11-4, and 11-9. And Sean, a big win for Sharon ALGUETTI.
I mean, I think the bottom line in this match is that Sharon was just a shot maker. I mean, when he needed the big shot, he was able to either take it off the bounce on the backhand or bring his strong forehand into play and just really look at that, put LIU Juan at such a defensive position as he went for the big winners and kept the pressure on.
You know, that 1 point, Sean, was a good example of him using that backhand slice serve and then this body position on the forehand, you know, the way he's able to step around. It's just amazing. Tremendous athleticism from Sharon ALGUETTI. All right, with that victory by Sharon ALGUETTI, he and his Team Alpha teammates have opened up a 7-1 lead over Team Omega. It's pretty dominant right now. Team Omega, Sean, is going to have to battle their way back into this thing.
Yeah, luckily every match, anything can happen with 2 points up for stakes, but definitely Omega has their back against the wall right now.
All right, it's Sharon ALGUETTI winning 4-1 over LIU Juan to now give Team Alpha a 7-1 lead over Team Omega. Next week, we've got a big matchup between Matilda Ekholm and Michelle Levinsky. It's going to be right here at the Westchester Table Tennis Center. I want to thank everybody here at Westchester for all they're doing for USA Table Tennis. I want to thank you for watching T2 Challenge Season 2. For Sean O'Neill, High Performance Director of USA Table Tennis, and everybody at USA TT, I'm Mark Thompson. Have a great night, everybody.